Identity and access management in the cloud is a critical aspect of cloud security. Identity and access management involves managing and controlling access to resources and services in a cloud environment. Let's explore authentication, authorization, role-based access control, and IAM best practices. Authentication and authorization in the cloud. Authentication. Authentication is a process of verifying the identity of users or systems trying to access cloud resources. Common authentication methods include username and password, multi-factor authentication, and identity federation, using external identity providers like Azure AD or Google Identity Platform. Authorization. Authorization is a process of determining what actions or resources an authenticated user or system can access. It involves defining permissions and access policies based on roles, groups, or attributes. Role-based access control. Role-based access control is a fundamental concept in IAM. It assigns permissions and access rights to users or systems based on their roles within an organization. Here's how it works. Roles. Roles are predefined sets of permissions that determine what actions can be performed on specific resources. Common roles might include admin, developer, read-only, etc. Users and groups. Users and groups are assigned to roles based on their responsibilities or job functions. For example, a user in the developer group may have access to development resources but not production ones. Resource permissions. Permissions are associated with specific cloud resources, for example, virtual machines, databases, storage buckets. Role assignments determine which users or groups can access these resources and what actions they can perform. IAM best practices. Effective IAM in the cloud requires following best practices to enhance security and manage access efficiently. Let's learn more about that. Least privilege principle. Users at systems should only have the permissions necessary to perform their tasks. Avoid granting overly broad permissions to minimize the risk of unauthorized access or misuse. Regularly review and audit permissions. Periodically review and audit IAM policies and role assignments to ensure they remain aligned with business needs. Remove unnecessary permissions and role assignments. Use groups for user management. Group users with similar roles together to simplify management and reduce administrative overhead. Assign permissions to groups rather than individual users when possible. Enable multi-factor authentication. Implement multi-factor authentication to add an extra layer of security. Users must provide multiple forms of verifications, example password and mobile app code, to access resources. Implement Identity federation. Federate identities with external identity providers. For centralized authentication and improved security. Monitor and log access. Enabling logging and monitoring of IAM activities to detect and respond to suspicious or unauthorized access attempts. Automate IAM management. Use automation to provision and deprovision users and roles as needed. Infrastructure as code. IAC tools like Terraform or AWS CloudFormation can help manage IAM resources programmatically. Regular training and awareness. Ensure that your team is educated about IAM best practices and security policies. Promote a culture of security awareness within your organization. Disaster recovery and backup. Implement backup and recovery mechanisms for IAM policies and configurations to prevent data loss in case of accidental changes or breaches. By implementing these IAM best practices, organizations can enhance security, reduce the risk of unauthorized access, and maintain efficient access control in their cloud environments. IAM is a critical component of cloud security, and it should be continuously evaluated and updated to adapt to changing business needs and evolving threats.